Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be making in my cocina, which is your cocina, a Mexican breakfast. That's correct. We're gonna have huevos, tocino, we're gonna have jalapeños and tortillas. It's gonna be delicious. I know you're gonna like it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Every time I see another subscriber, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel extra special. Not that I'm trying to feel special, that's for my therapist. In any case, thanks so much. Join me. All right, let's go ahead and start with an onion. Of course, we're gonna slice it and dice it like a true chef. And yes, this is called mise en place, which is a French phrase which means everything in its place. The potato I'm going to cut in half lengthwise, and then I'm going to slice it down using the flat part of the slice against the table to avoid rolling around. Then as accurately as possible, I'm going to make French fry type strips of potato, and then finally cut them into small little cubes as well. Now for the jalapeno, I'm just going to use this one at this time. Now if I wanted a little bit more spicy, I would go ahead and have gotten a serrano pepper. Those really add a bunch of kick. Now I'm not really deveining the jalapeno, I'm just taking out the seeds and the seed pod. That part's just not good eats. And of course, no good recipe is complete without bacon. Yes, and I'm went ahead and got 2 slices of bacon, and I was going to cut them into smaller strips, and then I realized, you know what, I just want the whole strip of bacon. Yum. So now with all our vegetables cut and ready, we're going to go ahead and rinse the potatoes to get that starch off of it. Now to the stove. The first part of my technique, the technique that I like on cooking bacon, is to start it on a cold skillet, just a regular room temperature skillet. Put the bacon on it, and then the heat is going to be low. So it's 3 or maybe just a little bit lower than 3 on your dial, and then just let it cook that way, nice and slow. It'll render the fat a lot better, and it won't warp the potato. It won't warp the bacon as much. Once the bacon is ready, now we're going to take that away, and add the rinsed potatoes into the skillet with the bacon grease. You cannot just throw bacon grease out. I think it's illegal. I mean, it's culinarily illegal. You have to use that bacon grease. It adds flavor to just about anything. Now I chose a large pan on purpose because you want to make sure that all of your potato cubes have some surface on that skillet or that pan, and that's why I chose this one, for that a lot of surface, for that surface area. Alright, contrary to popular belief, potatoes by themselves do not taste good. They're kind of bland. So it's important to really add a lot of flavor to those potatoes. That first starts off with bacon grease. Next, we're going to add some garlic. Then we're going to add some onion and some jalapeno. Make sure you put the salt in there. Crack some fresh cracked pepper in there, and add some paprika. I really like the smoky flavor of smoked paprika. Very good. Now remove the potatoes and put them in a plate with some paper or paper towel on it to absorb some of the grease that may come or may remain on the potato. And then maybe a little bit of salt if you haven't salted it properly. A dash of salt now is the right thing to do. Now it's time to add our beans in that same skillet. This is about 1 cup of black beans that I made for a previous meal, and I'm going to add the rest of the jalapenos here and then the onions, And once they start to cook and the bean juice starts to cook down, I know it's time to start mashing them up. Now with the beans completely done and out of the way, it's time for the eggs. But before we put the eggs in, it's time to add some butter and the rest of the onion that we have. Now we're gonna let that onion sweat a little. It means we're gonna wait until the onion starts turning a little bit translucent. And that means that the oil, or the butter in this case, is gonna be at a very low temperature. This is like between 2 and 3. And we just have to keep our eye on it and wait till it changes. This allows for the onion to stay in its shape, and it adds flavor to the oils around it, the butter that it's cooking in. It's going to be fantastic. To the translucent onions, now we're going to add the eggs. That is 2 scrambled eggs. Add a dash of salt inside those eggs, some freshly ground black pepper, and we're going to cook those eggs. We're going to scramble those eggs again at a very low temperature, between 2 and 3. Very important. Once your eggs start looking like this, they're still a little bit wet, but they're starting to pull off of the surface of the pan. It's time to add the cheddar cheese and a little bit of mozzarella. Mix them up. Now we want to make these eggs a little bit Mexican style, so I got some chips that I had at the bottom of my chip bag, and I crumbled them up a little bit more and threw them into the egg, scrambled the egg together with the chips, and then removed them from the skillet. The tortillas are easy. Put the comal onto the fire, make the fire about a 3. Once it gets to temperature, put 2 tortillas on, and watch the tortillas as they start turning brown. Flip them, and then there you go. And now, let's plate this burrito. Add the black beans and smear them into the tortilla. Then add the whole bacon slice. Yes, I could have been frugal, but hey, what's the fun in that? Now for the eggs, and of course, the potatoes. This burrito is huge. I can't even close it. It looks so good. That burrito was so delicious. It hits the flavors on so many different levels. The sweetness of the onion, the creaminess of the black beans, the spiciness of the jalapeño, which isn't very spicy at all once it's cooked down, the creaminess of the eggs and the corn chips that we put into the eggs, compared with the flour of the flour tortilla, it's an amazing bite. Of course, it's not entirely keto because of the tortilla and because of the because of the beans, the tortilla, and the corn chips. So, and the potato. So really, this isn't a keto breakfast. In any case, if you're not on keto, great, because you're going to love this. I know I'm going to love this. And I can't wait to make some more of it. So, from my cocina to yours. Until next time. Bye.